welcome to Weekly Reddit. In today's episode of r/Entitled Parents. Entitled Mom comes over to my house and insults my home, which results in me barely speaking to her and me leaving the family in the next few years. Kid, you can't have my phone. Entitled Dad doesn't know when to stop. My mother threw my sister a party for my 8th birthday. Entitled Mom comes over to my house and insults my home, which results in me barely speaking to her and me leaving the family in the next few years. Cast. EM, my mom. Me, the op. MB, my brother. MD, mum's dad. MM, mum's mom. SC, second cousin. MA, my aunt. So this straw that broke the camel's back happened a month ago around Thanksgiving time. M came over and starts bitching about my place being messy. I am much tidier now though. I do not like rude guests at my home, because it makes me uncomfortable. However, M ignores my rules and thinks it's okay. I have prediabetes and one of the effects are that you feel out of energy all the time because your body isn't making insulin, so you have to diet. My technique besides dieting was an Asian remedy. When I explained this concept of prediabetes to M, she doesn't listen and proceeds to argue about it. The same day M arrives, she leaves in a huff later that night, in a state of confusion as to why I am upset over her behavior, and goes to MB's house after I suggested if she could stay at MB's house. Before I suggested that, MB gets into argument with me and retaliates by cancelling my birthday dinner at a local place that they offered to take me to. I don't speak to him for a while. But some pies are baked on Thanksgiving to say sorry, and MB's wife takes me out to lunch a few weeks later. I accept both times, but I was still a bit angry on Thanksgiving in the back of my mind though. M's behavior all started with M years ago after she took up smoking again. She began fat shaming, but other relatives joined in for a bit and it stopped because they saw how wrong it was. M however did not stop this behavior though and kept doing it. I learned this summer that MD was a huge douchebag because he would punish the kids with a logging chain if they misbehaved. He also was a womanizer and alcoholic. For clarification, I partially grew up on a farm, and a logging chain in your average hardwood and softwood forest is 3 inches thick and made up of steel or iron. This would likely result in broken bones if your kid ever got hit with one, or an adult. The chains can be many more inches thick for more giant trees. This is because it takes more force to rip out a tree larger than 2 feet thick. The logging chains are used to drag felled logs, widowmakers, trees that are loosened from the ground which rest on another tree and can fall on you, or pull stumps out by wrapping them a certain way around the roots. You'd need 4x4 truck to do this though. Anyway, Mum had wised up years later and married someone else. MD passed some time later and his properties were sold off to commercial people. Sweet karma. But my SC and MA have issues as a result of that abuse my grandpa did. So that's part of why M is the way she is. M also made bad financial decisions in her past which left her nearly broke when she retired. 401k was nearly gone, and her credit score was in the 500s, so banks turned her away. M also is a thief. She doesn't like buying stuff, so she will take my stuff on occasion. One time she took my bottle brush for dishes and turned it into a toilet scrubber. No way I am scrubbing bottles with that now after I discovered that. Also, I keep a closer eye on my stuff these days if she does come over. As a result of M's actions, I am moving away, but have some plans I want to do before I drive off into the distance and start my new future. My advice is, if you're going through abuse, get help. Call an abuse center. They have programs to get you moved to a new place, and you can get an officer to be present in case the abuser shows up. There are things like restraining orders to keep people away from you. When you move, it will get better. Take it one day at a time. It's not your fault others made bad choices and choose to treat others badly. What matters is the future. Kid. You can't have my phone. Me memes, tis I. Enormous manatee. Entitled kid. Sa store associate. This happened before a blizzard hit. I was out doing some small Christmas shopping since I was ahead of my classmates and had nothing to do. Since it was in the morning, the shop I was planning on going to was closed, so I waited outside. This was in a mall. Yes, they follow COVID regulations. I decided to take out my phone and play some Genshin Impact. A few minutes later, I hear heavy breathing and look up from my game. I see this kid with stars in his eyes looking right at me. EK, are those dinosaur stickers? I was confused at first until I realized he was talking about the Sobble stickers on my phone case. Me. They're Pokemon stickers. EK, why are they on your phone? Me, because I like this Pokemon. I love Sobble. EK, cool. I want some. Me, want me to tell you where to get them? Ek runs off, presumably to get a parent. I continue to play Genshin Impact until the mom arrives. I stop playing for a moment. Hello, miss. Me, hi? Are you the kid's mum? Yes I am. Me, oh cool. Your son liked my stickers. I show the mom my phone case with stickers. Interesting. Now, can you give me your phone? Me, wait what? Your phone, darling. Can you give it to me? She kneels down to my level. I did not feel comfortable, especially with the pandemic and the fact that I have caught COVID-19 before. You see, my son has been a very good boy and I want to give him an expensive Christmas present. Besides, you're too old for one. Can you give it to me for the sake of Christmas spirit? I stand up and move. Me, okay, many points here. 1. You were way too close to me. I don't like it when strangers get in my face. 2. No. I will not give you my phone since this also contains my personal information and emails from colleges I hope to attend. 3. Have you really decided to stoop this low that you had to use Christmas spirit as an excuse for theft? 4. I don't know what your son has been up to. He may have done some bad things and you don't know about it. How rude. Teenagers these days are so selfish and dumb. Give me the phone with the dinosaurs now. She tries to yank my phone, but I have a strong grip and retain my phone. Mommy. I want the phone with the dinosaurs now. Don't worry, my angel. I'll get it for you. The store opens and one of the employees steps in. Hey. Stop the fight. The M yanks my phone from my hand. Oh thank goodness you have arrived. This little hooligan tried to take my son's phone. Please call security to kick her out. Me, that was a horrible acting job. You were the one that took my phone from me. Plus, you kept on calling my Sobble stickers dinosaur stickers. The store associate sees the case and gives my phone back to me. Mom, you need to leave now. This is her phone. No I won't, I'm friends with the security and I can kick you two out. Who's gonna laugh now? Me. You act like you slept with one of them. Sa calls for security. Cthulhu mum and her spawn are escorted out of the mall. As it turns out, Sa also likes Pokemon. If she didn't, I would have been screwed. Entitled Dad doesn't know when to stop. Please do tell me if this fits somewhere else better. I am on mobile and writing at a pretty later hour. English is not my first language and all that stuff. So this is something that happened many years ago, maybe even 10, but I still remember it bit too vividly. This is a short tale about how my biological father, EP in this story, acted like a child and traumatized me so badly that I cut contact. Around that 10 years ago I had a habit with EP to go on cruise at least once a year. That year we were going on a cruise that was few days because we were on our way to the country next to us. EP had decided that it would be okay for me to ask her friend to come with us, so I did. Let's call this friend K. Now K and I were very independent and active children, even at the age of 8-9-year-old. The independent part is actually really important. Now EP has always seen me as his little girl who always needed daddy. It really never was like that. I just saw him every other weekend and he never really got a clear picture of what I could do. Now when we were on the cruise, we had at the start done a lot of stuff. Gone to eat, visited the tax-free and walked around. After couple of hours me and my friend wanted to go around with each other because it felt weird to always have a parent with us. Seemingly EP was fine with that and left us to be on our own. We had a good time going around, but then the cruise crew started to usher us to our room. It was getting late and they were worried that some drunk would try to hurt us or fuck with us. We listened and went back to our room. Everything had already been set up, but the whole room smelled like alcohol, strong alcohol. Me and my friend were between two bunk beds wondering where EP was. Suddenly a bathroom door opened up and out stepped EP slurring and barely standing up. He started to yell at us about his phone having been stolen, but it quickly changed into him yelling at me about how I was supposed to spend the cruise with him. EP, you were supposed to spend time with me. I only get so little with you already and now you want to go off and run around with some other kid? I should have just made you stay here with me. For an 8-year-old it was really scary because at that point I hadn't seen anyone drunk, so I didn't know why he was talking so badly. EP then started to wave his hands around and one almost landed on me. That was the point that me and Kate took off running. I can't be sure if he was trying to hit me, but he had said about being ready to do it before this happened. Me and Kay made it out and to the reception where we told the crew what was happening. They ended up putting him in a cell for the night. Me and Kay slept in the alcohol-smelling room that night, but were transferred to a bigger and better room next day. EP was in the cell rest of the way. Me and Kay were escorted out when we arrived back, so that our parents could come and get us. Few years after I heard how it had ended with EP, apparently he had thrown a temper tantrum with the crew when they wouldn't let him out and be with us. Haven't really seen the man since. Last thing I have on him is him asking if I was the whore he wanted to talk to when I sent him Happy New Year few years ago. My mother threw my sister a party for my 8th birthday. This happened in 1998 when I was 8 years old and my sister was 5. From a very early age I knew that my younger sister was the golden child and could do no wrong in our mother's eyes. Mother Dearest was abusive towards me for most of my childhood, until I was 14 and her physical and mental abuse turned towards my sister as well. My parents had separated before my sister was born. They didn't mesh well together but tolerated each other for the sake of their kids. Part of the reason that my sister was Mum's favorite child was her love for horse riding, which I was never interested in. The more hostile our mother got towards me, the less interested I got in anything she was interested in. And then came my 8th birthday. I was friends with our next door neighbor's kids and a few kids from school. Although I didn't have this many, I loved the friends I did have and was excited to share my birthday with them. My birthday was on a Friday but Mum told me that she'd arrange my birthday party for the Saturday, which was fine by me. The day of my birthday party came and I got excited. At that age I hadn't yet had my heart crushed by my mother and her blatant favoritism and abuse, but that was the year I began to hate my birthday. The party was arranged to start at 12 p.m. so I wore my favorite dress and sat outside to wait for my friends to arrive. This was the point that I realized that something wasn't right. Outside was the mother of one of my sister's friends with a Shetland pony in tow. My mother knew I wasn't interested in horses, and even if I was, This horse was too small for an 8-year-old. As more guests started to arrive, my heart broke more and more. These were my sister's friends, not mine. And for the icing on the cake, out came my 5-year-old sister in a Cinderella costume. None of these people were there for me. This was supposed to be my party, but instead it became a party for my sister. None of my friends were there. All of the birthday presents were addressed to me, but were things I didn't want. My Little Pony toys and other horse-related gifts were what I got from my mother and the people at the party. The only present I got that wasn't horse-related was from our dad. He came later in the day to wish me a happy birthday, and by that point the other guests and the pony were gone. I can remember him asking me what was wrong, as I wouldn't come out of my room or talk to anyone. My mother acted dumb and said that she didn't know why I was upset. It wasn't until many years later that my dad found out what had happened. After that day, I didn't want a birthday party again. Even now at 30, I don't make a big deal out of my birthday. I still celebrate it, but I don't do birthday parties. My sister has changed a lot since then, and I don't hold any grudges for the things our mother did. We don't speak to our mother anymore, and our father died in 2009 when I was 19. It's tough sometimes, but me and my sister are really close, so we have each other to lean on for support. I'd be lost if it weren't for her.
Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up with the best content from Reddit.